can't believe this is a senior requirement. Or that Chuck got a doctor to actually diagnose him with acute stage fright.
Fright. Fright.
Chuck got a doctor to actually diagnose him with acute stage fright.
Before Gossip Girl, there was Edith Wharton. And how little has changed. The same society snobs still reigned.
Snob. Snob.
The same society snobs still reigned. And how little has changed. The same society snobs still reigned, only in corsets and horse-drawn carriages.
Corset. Corset.
Only in corsets and horse-drawn carriages.
More emotionally complex female lead just feels so right. Dorota, hairpin.
Hairpin. Hairpin.
Dorota, hairpin. No prospects, and let's face it, I have the world on a string. Of course, there is the odious task of playing opposite Dan Humphrey.
Odious. Odious.
Of course, there is the odious task of playing opposite Dan Humphrey.
Do you know that he directed
Bogosian off-Broadway in his last year of Juilliard, blah, blah, blah. You can always depend on Constance to snare some wunderkind, but
Snare. Snare.
you can always depend on Constance to snare some wunderkind. But really, S, aren't you sick of brooding artists?
Well, he broods in the sexiest way. That is when he's...
Brood. Brood.
Well, he broods in the sexiest way. That is when he's... Well, he broods in the sexiest way. That is when he's not looking right through me.
Oh, my life is so bountiful.
Bountiful. Bountiful.
Oh, my life is so bountiful.
A high school forks out a small fortune to stage a play, hires Broadway's hottest up-and-coming director. That means you got wealth, privilege, atrocious acting.
Atrocious. Atrocious.
That means you got wealth, privilege, atrocious acting.
Guy and girl want to be together, but can't in the story.
Nate, the story's in the details. The simple act of unbuttoning a glove expresses the character's
Unbutton. Unbutton.
The simple act of unbuttoning a glove expresses the character's
I was on my way to tell you that I received a call from Dean Barabee. They've rescinded your acceptance and given...
Rescind. Rescind.
They've rescinded your acceptance and given... The dean called for me to confirm the story. I had no choice.
But I did penance for that.
Penance. Penance.
But I did penance for that.
Upon my soul, it's Countess Olenska parading herself at the opera. It's a
Opus. Opus.
parading herself at the opera. It's a...
What is your problem?
My problem is a two-faced, four-eyed, devious little snipe in a fat suit.
Devious. Devious.
Four-eyed, devious little snipe in a fat suit.
How desperate can you be, B?
No wonder Yale dumped you. Who wants inbred legacy? Someone's...
Inbred. Inbred.
No wonder Yale dumped you. Who wants inbred legacy? Someone's...
More violent than his films with guns and blood. Marty's inspiration was The Heiress.
William Wyler.
So you're a
Heiress. Heiress.
inspiration was The Heiress.
William Wyler.
So you're a
I know you like him, but as your friend, Julian is the most self-absorbed, pompous person I've ever met.
Pompous. Pompous.
Pompous person I've ever met.
So what are you up to? You mean, what are we up to? I may not be a huge classic film buff.
Buff. Buff.
I may not be a huge classic film buff. Yes. Yes, I have.
Good, because House of Mirth was a huge...
Mirth. Mirth.
Because House of Mirth was a huge...
I'll say a line and all you have to do is repeat it exactly.
You're quite right. The film is... impotent.
Impotent. Impotent.
The film is...
impotent.
You are so insightful, Julian. I completely agree about the power of unexpressed passion.
You know, you are so insightful, Julian.
Insightful. Insightful.
You are so insightful, Julian. No. I'm a seagull.
Seagull. Seagull.
I'm a seagull. I'm a seagull. No, you're a shameless bitch.
Shameless. Shameless.
No, you're a shameless bitch. Spreading rumors about who I've had sex with, what alley I puked in, or
Puke. Puke.
what alley I puked in, or
Mrs. Manson may not receive the young couple at her large house in an inaccessible wilderness in the Central Park.
Inaccessible. Inaccessible.
House in an inaccessible wilderness in the Central Park.
wait.
No, I gotta go work on my smoldering tempest of emotion.
Tempest. Tempest.
No, I gotta go work on my smoldering tempest of emotion. What the hell are you doing?
Oh no, but one of the least fussy.
Fussy. Fussy.
Oh no, but one of the least fussy. Hey, here.
That charm will prove useful when Beaufort arrives. I want him to feel welcomed.
Beaufort.
Bow. Bow.
I want him to feel welcomed.
Beaufort.
Granny?
Granny. Granny.
Granny?
Well, I hate these clothes, I hate this play, and I hate pretentious ass.
Pretentious. Pretentious.
I hate this play, and I hate pretentious ass.
And losing it because people are out to destroy you.
Well, Countess, at least.
Countess. Countess.
Well, Countess, at least.
I hate this fat suit.
No, and there's one other thing. My whole family lost all of our money before my father went to jail for embezzlement.
Embezzlement. Embezzlement.
Before my father went to jail for embezzlement. So I think I know more about humiliation and bankruptcy than some lame dilettante director, okay? What a
Dilettante. Dilettante.
some lame dilettante director, okay? What a
Nate had already ruined everything. It wouldn't have made a difference.
Well, I stayed in character the whole time.
You high school idiots turned my play into a travesty.
Travesty. Travesty.
You high school idiots turned my play into a travesty. Charles, but please, I can explain.
Explain what? I loved it. The classic interpretation of the first act, juxtaposed with a radical
Juxtapose. Juxtapose.
The classic interpretation of the first act, juxtaposed with a radical The classic interpretation of the first act, juxtaposed with a radical deconstruction of the second act, genius.
Deconstruction. Deconstruction.
Deconstruction of the second act, genius.
Really? You thought it was genius?
Yeah, I did. The repressed characters melding with the actual kids.
Meld. Meld.
The repressed characters melding with the actual kids.
Blair spread false rumors, blackmailed the school, turned my job into a sham with no repercussions.
Sham. Sham.
Turned my job into a sham with no repercussions.
I come bearing snacks, hoping that we can cuddle on the couch and watch ESPN.
Come here.
Cuddle. Cuddle.
Hoping that we can cuddle on the couch and watch ESPN.
Come here.
I know I'm not. Y'all kicking me out is the karma I've earned.
Karma. Karma.
Y'all kicking me out is the karma I've earned.
Where?